I hope you're thirsty because life has been throwing us a lot of lemons lately, and it's time to start making some lemonade. Now, what I mean by that is that in this time of great difficulty, when we're facing all of these problems related to the coronavirus, there are a ton of gig economy apps out there that are actually showing way more demand than usual. Now, let me go ahead and emphasize a couple of things before I hop into this video. This is a great time to be a part of the solution to this problem, to help people who are in need of groceries, food, delivery items, whatever it may be, by working in the gig economy. But it's also important to take it very seriously. So if you're feeling at all the least bit sick, you need to stay home. You should not be working on the apps. If you're going to be delivering anything, it's important to be very cautious, to be very cleanly, washing your hands, taking all of the important steps. Personally, I'm not out there doing any of the apps right now because I've had basically a little bit of a head cold all day today, and I have been in contact with someone that was exposed to the virus, so I'm not going to be doing any of this stuff. I'm basically distancing myself socially, taking the precautions. I'm not all that sick, but I'm being smart about it because I don't want to be part of the problem. I want to be part of the solution. Okay, now that I got that out of the way, let's go ahead and look at some of these apps that are experiencing a huge amount of demand in wake of the coronavirus. And the first one is Instacart. I'm going to show you guys here in my app what I'm looking at. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I haven't been taking any of these batches, but I've been seeing a ton of batches coming through, and some of the highest priced batches that I've ever seen in there, upwards of $40 and $50, for a single run for one house delivery on a single batch. And this is really just a crazy number, something that you don't usually see through the app. People are ordering more and tipping more, and Instacart recently sent out an email. So let's take a look at that email real quick. And basically they're showing us exactly what's happening here. They are experiencing some of the highest demand that they've ever experienced, and they're doing a lot to kind of change their protocol to make sure that it's in line with what needs to be done for the coronavirus. And they're doing what they can to try and keep up with this demand because it's really more than what they expected, and they are not the only ones. I'm going to pull up another article here. It's from Amazon, and Amazon recently announced that they are hiring 1,000 new employees. So these aren't all going to be driver-related flex jobs. A lot of these are going to be warehouse jobs, other things related to their delivery service and their online retail. But basically, they're having a hard time keeping up with all the demand for retail in wake of the coronavirus. And what we're seeing with these apps is that people are staying home, they're distancing themselves, but they still need their basic supplies. They need food, they need groceries, they need whatever, office supplies, home supplies that they usually get, and they may not want to go out to the store. So if you guys watched my video yesterday about some of the restaurant closures, you'll notice that they still are doing takeout in most places because most people realize that you can't completely quarantine people, you can't shut off everything. What you do need is a reduced flow, reduced social interaction, but people still need their basic stuff. So most restaurants are still doing takeout, and that opens up the door for an increased demand in food delivery. So as far as food delivery goes, I want to show you guys a couple of comments that were posted on my last video, and it looks like demand has kind of differed in a lot of places. Some people are saying they're seeing some really slow days, some of the slowest they've seen, but also other people are checking in saying that they are seeing a ton of demand, a ton of orders coming through on DoorDash, Grubhub. Grubhub specifically, a lot of what people are seeing is a difficulty scheduling, and it seems that with all of the different company closures, work closures, there's more people with time off. Some of these people might have been part-time drivers that are now filling their free time by delivering with Grubhub, and so you actually have an increase on the supply side with more drivers coming in. So that's something to take note of. In the gig economy, a lot of these jobs are flexible, so you might have more people pouring into the gig economy to work because other forms of work are not as available right now. But in general, supply side is seeing a tremendous increase as well. So let's go back and take another look at these graphs that I showed in the video yesterday one more time, because I think these are really important, and it looks to be the strategy of the U.S. overall to aim for social distancing as opposed to complete quarantines. Nobody likes quarantines. They scare people. People run. They don't stay put. But if you socially distance, then you you slow the spread of something like coronavirus in a lot of ways, and that makes it easier for hospitals to take that demand of new patients coming in needing to treat people and handle it over time as opposed to trying to handle it all at once. So this is really promising for the gig economy. It's promising for people in food delivery who want to do continue to do those orders and deliveries. Restaurants may be closed for dine-in, but they're still open for takeout. And people are always going to be wanting restaurant food. People get tired of cooking for themselves. People want good food. Not everybody can make good food, so there's going to be some demand there. And as far as grocery delivery and Amazon Flex deliveries, these look to be increasing dramatically. If you've been looking to do Amazon Flex, make sure you're on that wait list, because it might be one of those times when you can easily, get hired on. Usually that only happens right before Christmas when they see that huge boost in demand, but it looks like they're going to be hiring at other places, and one of those might be Amazon Flex drivers. If you've been working for any of these apps, let me know down below what you're seeing as far as demand, deliveries, orders. If you've had, busy days with food delivery lately, if you've been on Instacart, it sounds like it's been crazy out there. I'm seeing crazy batches coming through, and Amazon Flex looks the same way. I actually tried to do an order through Amazon the other day, and it was booked up for like the next 4 days here in Seattle. So it looks like they just cannot keep up with that demand that they have. So I'd be curious to hear how that's working for you, what the apps are looking like, what your go-to strategy is during this time, and if you're seeing the same thing with these delivery apps, that huge spike in demand. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button and spread this to other people looking for that right gig app during these times, because that's the important part, finding the right app where there's the most demand so that you can meet that and continue to get that income coming your way.